This is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today we got a rare glimpse into the world of venture capitalists and their investments in cryptocurrency that I want to share with you. And I've entitled this Solana Billionaire VCs Are Laughing at You. I was reminded when I was viewing this clip of the great Warren Buffett quote, if you've been playing poker for half an hour and you still don't know who the patsy is, you're the patsy. In other words, you're the person at the table that was basically brought there to take your money. Now, Chamath is famous for talking about his positions on podcasts, especially, and CNBC interviews, and then secretly selling those positions, dumping them on retail. This is something he did with his position in the Virgin Galactic SPAC. But now we have a little bit of insight into what's been happening with Solana as well. So Solana has very slick marketing. They market themselves as a decentralized blockchain that's going to change the world. Sounds a little bit like taking the Bitcoin marketing, but of course all altcoins do that. Solana really is the ultimate venture capitalist coin, the ultimate VC coin. And if we look at the funding that they've done over time, they're famous for double dipping as well, because not only did they do a Series A, which is kind of the classic first big round that companies do in Silicon Valley when they're raising money, but Solana also did a bunch of coin offerings where they dumped coins on retail as well. So Series A are normally open to just professional investors and those with high net worths. But Solana definitely has been able to benefit from both ICOs, selling tokens, and selling stock. If we take a look at initial token allocations for public blockchains, we can see that Solana is one of the biggest offenders. This red portion or light orange portion is the part that includes all team, company, and VC purchased tokens. So Solana makes even a scammy project like Cardano look pretty good by comparison. So that's the background. We do know that Solana is a VC coin. If you still don't understand that and get it, you will after watching this clip. This is a podcast or a stream that involves David Sacks, who is one of the original founders at PayPal, and Chamath, who's a well-known VC investor.
And I'm your boy J Cal.
Sacks, I gotta say, I think your AUM is positively correlated with the bags under your eyes.
If you mean it's getting bigger, you're correct.
I mean,
yeah, they're heavy.
Good Lord.
They're heavy, dragging you down.
That's where you're hiding all that Solana, in your fucking under your eyes.
You better clear that Solana position. What's your lockup? 24 months?
Fuck no, he's trying to sell it to me on text message.
Yeah, of course he is.
We're negotiating discounts.
I just had the founder on the
you're
pod.
fucking the whole thing up.
Bro, you don't think
I'm hodling.
You think I buy hundreds of millions of dollars of anything without a discount? Everything is a discount.
Everything's discounted. You want to clear that position in an LLC?
Are you saying I got $1 billion of Solana?
No, bro, I'm saying I have one, but I bought it at a discount.
But you're holding, correct?
Ish.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, me too.
Wow.
So there you have it. There you have VCs laughing about how they're going to dump their multi-billion-dollar positions on retail. There's a pretty good pun there talking about the bags under David Sacks' eyes and bag holders. But this is how VCs think about their position in Solana. This is a very, very transparent example. And they're already talking about their lockup and when they can dump their positions on retail. So you should know that this is a lot of what happens behind the scenes, but it's pretty rare. These guys have become so arrogant that they're now doing it in publicly viewable forums. And I think the real meat of this dialogue was when they did the jokes about hodling, and they're not hodling, but they're hodling-ish. And this really shows you the difference between the low time preference of Bitcoin holders and Bitcoiners and the very high time preference of VCs who are actively engaged in these multi-month pump and dumps. And that's really what it is. This thing was released. These VCs all bought it as a discount, as you heard, and now they're going to, as soon as they can, a lockup normally applies to shares. For example, when a company goes public, if you're an insider, you usually can't sell for call it 6 months after the IPO. There's something similar here. I haven't been able to find any information about the length of these lockups. I'm not sure it's publicly disclosed as it should be, but you can tell these guys as soon as they can are willing and ready to dump their Solana. This is really the world of high time preference cryptocurrency, folks. Vitalik Buterin was the beginning of all this, really, when he sold 25% of his Ethereum, his Ether holdings. And this contrasts very, very sharply, of course, with Satoshi Nakamoto, who mined anywhere between 1 million and 1.1 million coins in the early days of Bitcoin. A lot of people misunderstand. They think that this was a pre-mine or a pre-sale. What Satoshi was doing, he was the only Bitcoin miner on the network for a long period of time, and he was doing the mining to provide the proof of work consensus for the network. There was no one else to do it. So not only did he mine, he only mined for a period of time until the network took off on its own, and then he disappeared quietly and humbly, disappeared from the project. But he also has never sold any of those coins. The only time he moved them, I believe he sent a few coins to Hal Finney early on in a test. But Satoshi still holds this. And of course, to answer the obvious question, if he starts dumping his coins, is it going to hurt the market? No, it's not going to hurt the market. 1 million Bitcoin can easily be absorbed now that we have so many institutional investors, etc., interested in it. But my larger point here is you have the contrast between Solana that has all this slick marketing. You can have slick marketing when you have when you sell a lot of tokens and you sell a lot of stock, and you can have a marketing department. Bitcoin does not have a marketing department. Even its marketing department is completely decentralized. And Solana, like all cryptocurrencies, tries to ride on the tail of Bitcoin and steal its magical aura. But behind the scenes, it's very dirty. It's tokens that are going to be dumped on you. And we contrast this with Satoshi, who mined these coins, never sold them, and was in stark contrast to the Solana VCs and Ethereum's Vitalik Buterin. There's even evidence that Satoshi mined fewer Bitcoin than he needed to, that he was actually turning off his miners every 5 minutes, turning them on and off as a way of trying to share the hash rate with other people. This is not the mark of someone who's trying to accumulate as many coins for himself. He really does deserve not just the Nobel Prize in Economics, but also the Nobel Peace Prize as well for his contribution, his selfless contribution to humanity. So I'll finish with the Warren Buffett quote again. When you're playing these cryptocurrencies, when you're investing in them, when you think you're a hodler in them, just be careful that you know who the patsy is at the table. And my guess would be, if you're an XRP Army retail investor, if you're a Cardano retail investor, if you're a Solana retail investor, you are the patsy at the table. And unfortunately, you're going to learn that the hard way. Almost everyone has to learn this the hard way. Meanwhile, when we look back on this time, we'll be amazed that people were worried about garbage like Solana, that people were wasting time on dog coins. And hopefully the civilization makes it through this point in time. Bitcoin is the only way of fighting the central bankers, of fighting the corrupt fiat financial system that is run by these guys you saw laughing in this video clip. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.